Hey y'all, here's our video for the weekend of September 18th, 19th, and 20th. Glad you're watching it over a weekend because all these topics are important. So we're talking about floor plans, and we kind of talked about them yesterday in our video and when we did our virtual field trip. Um, but there's three types of floor plans: closed, open, and semi-open, which is kind of a combo of the two because that makes sense, right? And when we talk about these three types of floor plans, we want to really think about the area of the home that is the kitchen, dining room, and living room area, because that's the part that's either open or closed. And by open or closed, I basically mean lots of walls and doors or not lots of walls and doors. Um, but then there's, rooms like your bedrooms and bathrooms that they're always going to have walls and doors. So they can't be considered in the open or closed part of the floor plan. So we're just talking about that social area, that kitchen, dining, and living room area. Be sure you're writing this down, please. Thanks. So type one. That was all you had to write down. Closed floor plans. You may want to write some facts about this though, even though there's not words. Well, there's a little bit on the picture there, but not a lot from me. Um, so a closed floor plan is very much closed off. Go figure. Looking at this picture, you've got walls separating the dining room and the kitchen, and separating the dining room from the hallway and from the living room. Um, it's just very separate. You feel like you're in a totally different room. If someone hollers at you from the living room, you're gonna have to like peek around the corner to see what they want. Um, it's just very closed, and the room feels smaller when it's a closed floor plan because of all of these walls. Walls closing in makes you feel more closed. Now, there's not necessarily closed doors in this picture. Um, but if there was, that would make the room feel even smaller. Then this is your total opposite. This is an open floor plan. It combines multiple rooms into one large room, is what that says, and my face is covering it up. And this is, there's just not a lot of walls. There's a little bit of wall happening by the kitchen, but not a lot. So you can see that we've got a kitchen, a dining room, a living room, and then kind of a den area also. That's all pretty much open to each other. So you could stand in one spot in any of these rooms actually and see all the other rooms. You could holler at someone from any of these rooms. If someone's yelling at you, you could holler back at them. It's going to feel very open. But the negative here is that, if someone's clanking around in the kitchen and you're trying to watch that TV, you're going to want them to be quiet. But they can't be that quiet because what you do in the kitchen is just how it is in the kitchen. So that's a negative. Walls can stop noise like that as a buffer, it's a barrier for acoustic purposes. So that's definitely a negative of open floor plans, probably the biggest negative that there is. Another negative of an open floor plan is you basically almost have to paint this whole area one color, because like, where do you stop and start a color of paint? And while I know a lot of people paint everything one color anyways, that's not what everybody does. So because that's not as interesting as other options of more than one color. So that's a stumper. That stumps you. Like, where do you stop and start that color and start a new one if you want to change it up some? Like on a corner, or sometimes there's a weird situation where you've got this entire one big long wall that connects all three of those rooms. I have that situation in my house, and I hate it because I have to leave it all one color. But open floor plans are definitely what's in style right now, and probably will be probably for the rest of time. I would say that's going to be a thing. Because that's just the way we like it now. We don't need as much storage. We don't need as many walls. It's also a cheaper option because you're not building as many walls, which costs money because there's material in walls. But likewise, you're spending materials to put more supports in the ceiling to hold up these long spans of rooms without putting walls in between them to hold them up. Okay, and then there's this in-between option that's probably the best of all the worlds. I like it a lot. A semi-open floor plan, which means there's some walls breaking it up. So it's not completely open, but it's not completely closed off either. There's a little bit of wall happening. So here we've got this nice wall over the bar with the arch in it. Um, that's what's making it semi-open. And I'm guessing the dining room is off to the left of that. Um, and there's no barrier there that we can see here, but it's just semi-open because there is something separating it, but it's not completely closed off. It's not completely open. That's all there is that makes it semi. It's just something in the middle. Nothing to it more than that. I think that's it. Yep, that's it. Okay, so that's all about the three types of floor plans. I want you to think about what type of floor plan you have in your home. If you've lived in multiple homes, think back to all the homes you've lived in and think about which of the three types of floor plans you had in your home in that social area. I also want you to think about if you like it the way your home is, or if you would like it to be a different way, and think about why. Um, what would you do if you were designing your own home right now? How would you make it? And what's your reasons? What's the pros? What's the cons? Think about it.